All right. What's up, everybody? My people in Manhattan, the Boogie Down Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, my homeboro Brooklyn. Back out with another video. And today marks the 35th anniversary of the release of one of the most beloved, if not the most beloved, Christmas movie of all time, Home Alone. Of course, starring child actor Macaulay Culkin, Catherine O'Hara, and supporting cast including Oscar winner Joe Pesci. Like I said, Home Alone is one of the, if not the most beloved Christmas movie of all time. It's up there, Home Alone, The Grinch, Elf, National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, Miracle on 34th Street, The Christmas Story. Home Alone is like up there with the most popular and greatest Christmas films ever made. And again, I said arguably the most beloved. Definitely one of my favorites. Last year, the 20th anniversary, I covered The Polar Express, one of my favorite Christmas films from childhood. Home Alone is also one of my favorite Christmas movies, and it's most people's Christmas movies. Like I said, it's one of the most popular, beloved Christmas movies of all time. Matter of fact, I remember last year during the holiday season, there was a bracket going around on Instagram about most beloved Christmas movie of all time, and I believe Home Alone won number one over The Grinch and Elf and so many other Christmas classics. Like I said, it's held in very high esteem, and in 2023, it was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry, being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. One of the greatest Christmas films ever made. One of the greatest films ever made, period. I'm just going to go over some of the scenes in the film. Of course, we open up on a very chaotic and hectic household. They're preparing to leave for the holiday season. They're going to spend the holiday season in France. And this cop, Harry, played by, of course, Oscar winner Joe Pesci, who also in 1990 starred in the legendary movie Goodfellas, which he won the Academy Award for. He's trying to ask for a parent so he can tell them something. Both the parents are upstairs packing for France. Catherine O'Hara, who was playing the mom, and she's disrupted by Kevin, Macaulay Culkin. And she tells him, "Kevin, I'm on the phone." Kevin ignores her and decides to jump up on the bed, reading a book, and mess up all the folded clothes. She tells Kevin to leave. He says, "Why don't you make me leave? Why don't you?" That's when his father comes out and reprimands him for using his new fishing hooks to make decorations with a glue gun. His dad orders him out of the room. Kevin tells him he needs help to pack his bag. He's 7. He's small and helpless. I believe Macaulay Culkin was 7 years old here when this film was released. Kevin's dad orders him out. Meanwhile, we meet the rest of Kevin's family, his cousins and his brothers and sisters. Meanwhile, Harry is still trying to disguise as a cop, still trying to ask the kids to talk to a parent. He talks to his little girl. She says no. Kevin asks his older brother for help packing his bag. And he says tough. As older sister, she says tough. Says, "Kevin, you are so helpless." And his little cousin here says, "Kevin, you are what the French call les incompetents." Kevin gets fed up and he jumps up and yells, when I grow up and get married, I'm living alone." Really? When you grow up and get married? I guess your wife's not going to live with you, huh, Kev? He's a kid, so I guess I'll let it slide. He jumps up and says, "I'm living alone. I'm living alone." Joe Pesci just looks at it just like, wow. Meanwhile, his brothers ask him who's going to feed your tarantula, and Buzz tells him he'll be all right. He's had enough food to last a few weeks. Kevin comes to ask his older brother, can he sleep in his room because he don't want to sleep with his young cousin Fuller because he wets the bed. And he tells him, "I wouldn't let you sleep in the same bed as me, sleep in the same room with me if you were growing out my ass." Damn. And Buzz tells him about how their next door neighbor, the creepy next door neighbor, back in 1958, murdered people with a shovel. That they never found the bodies, and that the salt he's putting on the driveway is the remains of his victims, which, it's a bunch of bullshit, but hey, he's just trying to scare his younger brothers. Freak them out. The pizza boy shows up with all these pizzas. He tells the uncle he needs $122.50, and the uncle says, "I don't live here." The father comes, and the pizza boy says, "I'll still you that $122.50 plus tip." Anyway, Harry finally talks to the father about how there's been burglaries and you make sure to lock your doors and windows and everything. But then Buzz comes and grabs his dad. He's like, "Come on, Dad, it's time to eat." Everybody's eating at the dinner table. Kevin's looking around for a plain cheese pizza. Buzz tells him that if you want some cheese pizza, you have to wait for somebody to barf it out, implying that he ate it all. Meanwhile, Kevin looks at his younger cousin Fuller, played by Macaulay Culkin's real life younger brother Kieran Culkin. He's drinking a whole bunch of Pepsi. Fuller smiles at him. Kevin's pissed because Kevin knows he's going to share a bed with him and knows that he wets the bed. And when Buzz pretends to barf out some cheese pizza, Kevin gets upset and tackles him, and Buzz ends up knocking over some milk all over their passports, which causes a bunch of chaos. A soda spilled on the uncle's lap. Fuller gets up, and the uncle, not knowing Fuller's behind him, scoots out and straps Fuller up against the wall in the chair. They're rushing to drive the passports, and they accidentally throw off Kevin's. That's going to come back later. And the mother reprimands Kevin for causing a fight. And the mother tells him Buzz started it, and she's not hearing it. The whole family's not hearing it. The uncle even tells his nephew, "Look what you did, you little jerk." He says, "Kevin, you are such a disease." The mother takes Kevin upstairs for his punishment. Before she does that, she pays the pizza boy and receives the warning from Joe Pesci's character, Harry. Harry looks down at Kevin and winks at him. Remember, that wink is going to come back later. Catherine O'Hara tells Kevin, "Get upstairs. We are upstairs, dummy." Damn, called your mom a dummy? Kevin, if you were black and you called your mom or your dad a dummy, I promise you, that would have been the last time you did. You got smacked across your mouth so fast, it would have hurt so bad. That would have been the last time you thought about doing that. She tells Kevin to get upstairs. She spent the night in the basement. Kevin apologizes. Catherine O'Hara doesn't want to hear it. Kevin, yells, "I wish I never had a family. I don't ever want to see you jerks again for the rest of my life." Catherine O'Hara says, "I hope you don't mean that. You'd be very sad if you woke up tomorrow and found out you had no family." Kevin says, "No, I wouldn't. We'll say it again. It just might happen." And then Kevin says it again, runs upstairs. Catherine O'Hara rolls her eyes and shuts the door, paying him no mind. Kevin's upstairs, thinking, "I wish I never had a family." Meanwhile, throughout the night, while everybody's asleep, a strong wind knocks over an old tree branch, and the tree branch falls onto the power lines, cuts out all the power in the McCallister household. Meanwhile, the Airport Express guys are here to take the family to the airport. See the guy right here working on the power cord. Catherine O'Hara wakes up, realizes the clock was out, and she grabs her watch. She sees what time it is. Her and her husband jump out of bed, and they yell out, "We slept in!" And chaos ensues. Everybody's rushing out the house, getting dressed, getting the bags packed, get ready. Meanwhile, a neighbor kid comes by and talks to the Continental Air Transport people, and he annoys them. Catherine O'Hara orders the older cousin Heather to do a head count. See this kid right here, the neighbor kid. He's going through everybody's stuff. And Heather, the older cousin, mistakenly counts him, and she thinks that's Kevin. So as far as she knows, everybody's accounted for. And the kid leaves and yells at everybody, "Bye, everyone. Have a good trip." The parents rush out, and the uncle tells his brother, the dad, "I don't know if we're going to make it. We're not going to be able to make it on time in 45 minutes." She says, "Yes, we will." And the power people tell the parents about what happened, and the phones are going to be out. Of course, they're going to come back. Of course, the parents aren't concerned about that because they're on their way to the airport. Accompanied by Chuck Berry's Run Rudolph, they're running through the airport trying to get to the plane, and they just make it. And to them, everything's okay, except they forgot Kevin, who, of course, himself slept in, and he's walking out the house yelling for everybody's name, and Kevin says to himself, "I made my family disappear." Yeah, they're on the airport on the way to France, and Kevin thinks back to all the things they said to him. "Kevin, you are so helpless. Kevin, you are what the French call les incompetents." Kevin, I'm going to feed you to my tarantula. Kevin, you are such a disease. There are 15 people in this house, and you're the only one who has to make trouble. Look what you did, you little jerk. Kevin smiles. I made my family disappear. And he's jumping up in his parents' bed, eating popcorn, has shoes in the bed. That's what to do. He goes to his brother's stuff, his Playboy magazine. He throws it away in disgust and like, ugh, naked girls. Hey, Kevin's 7 years old. In a few more years, that's not gonna gross him out. Excuse me. He sees his brother's girlfriend. He says, ugh, Buzz, your girlfriend, woof. He takes Buzz's figurines, a shotgun, and he shoots them all down. Figurines of Walter Payton and Larry Bird, and shoots them down the laundry chute. You got a whole bunch of marshmallows and what's that? Chocolate. He's watching a dirty movie, Angels with Filthy Souls. Eating junk food. He yells for everybody, guys, I'm eating junk food, watching an inappropriate movie. Maybe someone should stop me. Meanwhile, on the plane, the mother has a very bad feeling that they forgot something. Did we forget to lock the doors? Did we forget to lock the windows? Did we turn off everything? And then she realizes she forgot Kevin. Meanwhile, while she's having that epiphany, Kevin's in the house with his sled. Excuse me. Kevin is in the house with his sled. He has a sled at the top of the stairs, and he takes it downstairs throughout the door into the yard. I can't be the only one who, as a kid, wanted to do this after seeing Home Alone. I wanted to do it, but if I did, and my parents had found out, my dad would have whooped the hell out of me. So I was like, nah, I won't do it. Meanwhile, on the plane, Catherine O'Hara and her husband, they're all worried. And, she's blaming herself. What kind of mother am I? How can I forget my son? Honey, don't blame yourself. I forgot him too. And Uncle says, terrible. Just terrible. And he tries to make them feel better by saying, if it makes you feel any better, I forgot my reading glasses. And they all look at him like he's a dumbass, which he is. Like, come on, bro. You got your reading glasses. They forgot their 7-year-old son. Meanwhile, when they get to the airport in France, she tries to call the police and try to get help, try to contact Kevin, make sure Kevin's okay. Kevin walks outside in the later scene to make sure to let everybody knows he's not afraid until he comes across an old creepy neighbor, and then he runs back into the house and hides under the bed sheets. In the later scene, we see Kevin get himself decent for the next day, and he gives us this iconic scene where he's screaming in pain. Ah! In a later scene, Kevin's walking back. He tries to buy a toothbrush. He ends up getting chased by a police officer. He escapes, but he comes across Harry, again flashing the gold tooth. Harry and his accomplice Marv try to follow Kev back to the home, and they're trying to rob it. But then they think a Christmas party is going on, when really it's just Kevin using dummies and a life-size cutout of Michael Jordan, tied to train tracks going around the train. Tied to a little toy train going around train tracks to make Kevin tricks them thinking there's people there having a Christmas party, and they decide to skip the house. Meanwhile, Kevin's older siblings his older sister, at least trying to show concern about him, but Buzz doesn't care. He gives 3 reasons why. Right. He goes A, 2, and D. They live on the most boring street in the United States of America, and Kevin's going to be fine. They have smoke detectors. And no, he's not worried. He thinks nothing bad is going to happen. Meanwhile, Kevin orders himself a plain cheese pizza. The pizza boy knocks over the figurine. He comes to the door, telling them, the door says, pizza's here. And Kevin uses that dirty movie he was watching, Angels with Filthy Souls, a scene where a guy gets shot to get his pizza. He leaves the money. Person plays, says, keep the change, you filthy animal. And he plays another scene where a guy gets shot to scare the pizza boy off. And Kevin has a plain cheese pizza all to himself. But when he goes to bed, he's watching The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and he realizes he misses his family. And he looks at the picture that says, "I'll never be a pain again. You guys come back." Kevin goes grocery shopping. He walks home, and unfortunately, the groceries fall through the bag. You see, he's doing the laundry. He's taking very good care of himself. Meanwhile, the burglars, Harry and Marv, come back to the house. Marv, like a dumbass, takes his foot through the doggy door, loses his shoe. Kevin sees him while he's washing the dishes, sitting on the chair washing dishes. Kevin decides to play the movie again, Angels Flippy Souls, to scare them off. He plays the gunshot scene. Marv hears it. Kevin gets some firecrackers, put them in a pot to replicate gunshot sounds, and they go off, and it works. Marv's dumbass gets scared. He falls over the trash cans. And Kevin repeating the line from the movie, "Keep the change, you filthy animal." Marv tells Harry what he heard, and Harry's not buying it. He says, meanwhile, in the later scene, Catherine O'Hara is hell bent on getting back to her son. She says she's willing to sell her soul to the devil to get back home to take care of her son. Later on, Marv and Harry come back to the house. They see Kevin's home alone. Kevin's decorating the tree. He sees Harry's reflection in the window through the ball, and Harry reminds us what movie we're watching. He's home alone. Kevin opens the window, and he overhears Marv and Harry discussing a plan to come back at 9 o'clock to break into the house. In the later scene, Kevin's talking to his quote-unquote creepy neighbor, finds out he's not creepy after all. He's very misunderstood. And Kevin gets the cojones to fight back. Of course, he comes up with a battle plan and everything. He's eating mac and cheese, saying grace. Marv and Harry come and let the kid know, "It's okay, little boy. We got toys for you. Open up." Kevin takes a shotgun. He shoots Harry in the cojones. His little Harry. Excuse me. And Marv, like a dumbass, sticks his head through the doggy door, and Kevin shoots him. Harry goes around the front. Marv goes through the back to try to break in. He slips. He slips and falls. Marv does the same thing. He slips and falls down the stairs. He's able to get in, and he sees the light bulb. He pulls the light switch, and he's going to cut the light on, but it really pulls down a hot iron down the laundry chute, and it hits Marv in the face. He falls to the ground. Harry's struggling to get up the stairs, but he eventually does. He grabs onto a very hot doorknob. He screams in pain. He falls down the stairs again, jumps, and sticks his hand to the cold snow. He sees the M on his hand. He's been branded. Kevin's jumping up in celebration, thinking he's got these dumbasses. Meanwhile, Marv's downstairs. He gets his shoe stuck to some glue, some sticky substance on the stairs, and he ends up losing his sock as well, which is bad for him. He ends up sticking his foot through his old rusty nail. He falls down the stairs, screaming in pain. Harry, more cognizant and aware, he touches the doorknob carefully, make sure it's not hot. Oh, he's going to get hot all right. He opens the door, and his head catches on fire. He runs. He dunks his head to a pile of snow to cool it off. It's too late. He's bald. His hair is gone. Harry pissed more than ever. So is Marv. And he says, "I'm going to find you, you little runt." Now, if there's been a rated R movie, he's like, "Fuck you, you little bastard. I'm going to find you." Well, man, we know how colorful Joe Pesci's language can get. He opens the door. His head gets stuck in some plastic. The fan goes off, and a bunch of feathers get stuck to Harry. Meanwhile, Marv comes in through a window. He doesn't see the Christmas decorations, and he sticks his foot on them, and he screams out in pain again. Harry sees Marv. He says, "Marv, what the hell happened to your shoes?" Marv asks Harry, "Why the hell you dressed like a chicken?" And Kevin talks to him, "I'm up here, you morons." They go to confront Kevin, and they slip on these cars and fall down. And Kevin hits them with a line, "You're thirsty for more?" And they get up, go up the stairs to chase Kevin. Kevin throws a paint can. Harry sees it and ducks, but it hits Marv and knocks him down. And Harry tells Marv, "Don't worry, Marv, I'll get him for you." And then Harry, unaware of the other paint can, gets hit and he gets knocked down to the ground. The power line is not working. The phone line is not working. Kevin calls the police for help. You get upstairs. Harry trips over a wire, but Marv's able to catch Kevin, grab onto his ankle. Kevin, seeing his brother's free tarantula that got freed in a later scene by Kevin on accident, grabs it and puts it on Harry's face, and Harry screams out like a little bitch. Kevin's able to get away. Marv knocks the tarantula onto Harry. Kevin's on the zip line, prepared to go to his family's treehouse. Marv gets up with a steel pipe, looks at Harry, like, "Harry, don't move." Harry's freaked out. He doesn't know what's going to happen, thinking Marv's about to kill him. Marv ends up whacking Harry in the gut to try to kill the spider. Meanwhile, Kevin escapes to the treehouse. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's a stunt man dressed as Macaulay Culkin for this scene. Kevin gets to the treehouse and he taunts the guys again, tell them to come get him. And they foolishly do. Kevin takes out some hedge trimmers and cuts the rope. And these guys go slammed against the brick wall of the house, and they fall down to the snow. A few scenes later, Kevin's in this basement of another house thinking he's about to get away. This time, Harry and Marv outsmarted him. They pin him up against the wall, tell him what all the things are going to do to him. They're going to set his head on fire, stick a nail through his foot. Harry says he's going to bite every one of his little fingers off. That's when the neighbor comes by with a shovel, hits Marv and Harry upside the head with it, and knocks them both out. The police are called. They arrest Harry and Marv. Kevin's in the house, waving, smiling, taunting them, and they go away. The next morning, Kevin wakes up, hoping his family's back home. He runs downstairs to see. There's nobody there. Looks in the living room, looks outside, nobody's there. But that's when Catherine O'Hara in that truck, she pulls up. She goes in the house, she yells for Kevin, Kevin. Kevin hears her but doesn't see her until he turns around. He runs to his mother, gives her a big hug, and they embrace. That's when the rest of the family pulls up. They hug Kevin. They're glad Kevin's okay, even his older brother who likes to bully him. He says, "Kev, it's real cool how you didn't burn the house down." And that ends the movie. Like I said, it's one of the most beloved Christmas movies of all time. One of the best Christmas movies of all time. It still holds up, even though all the goofy scenes when Marv and Harry getting tormented by the 7-year-old, they still, as you guys can tell, make me laugh. They still crack me up a little bit, just how goofy they are. And what was your favorite scene of the movie, guys? Like I said, the whole sequence of Marv and Harry getting into Kevin's traps. Trevor, that's probably my favorite part of the movie. Is that your favorite part? Tell me in the comments section down below. If not, please tell me what's your favorite scene from the movie. What's your favorite line from the movie? Is this one of your favorite Christmas movies of all time? Is it top 5? Is it your number 1 Christmas movie of all time? I want to know all that in the comments section down below.